Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel, on this beautiful day. How you guys and girls doing? Hope you're doing great. Today we have another video in this beautiful series, the old one, the console RPG series. So what we're gonna do today is kind of just keep on fixing the stuff we had. So what I want to do is I want to add a kind of a, not a class, but a function set, so we can make printouts and stuff a little nicer, and we can customize them, and it will be easier for you to kind of customize your own version of the game in the way it looks, in the way it handles and stuff like that. So to do that, we kind of need a header file and a CPP file. But before we get started with all that stuff, I just want to remind you to go down to the description box, just open that up, and you'll see a bunch of useful links down there. Video to Linux and code blocks, all that stuff, like how you should code. And also to my Twitter, where you can follow me if you want. You can join us on Discord. You can drop a like and subscribe, all that stuff, if you like the content, right? So, but let's just keep going here. I just want to add a function set. So what I want to do is I'm probably just going to add a new item here called, I'm going to call it GUI functions. GUI functions. You can call it whatever you want. I'll call it GUI functions.h, and then I will add another item here, a CPP file called GUI functions.cpp. Now I know we're probably gonna work with boss and stuff, but we did create the class. It's here. I think there's a few things I want to do before we get started with boss, the boss class and boss's events and stuff. So what I did was I went in here and I went to the boss event, basically, right here, boss encounter, and just commented everything out. Just do that for your own project, and it should work without any problems. But for now, that's fine. And then we have this number of events. We have 4, right? But what I'll do is I'll just set this to 3 for now. You know what? We'll keep it 4 because I know myself. I'm probably gonna forget this crap like always. So I'm gonna just do a C out here. Do I need std? No, I do have using namespace, so I don't need that. Boss encounter under construction, just something like that, whatever, you know, something small like that. That's cool. So there we go. Now what do we do? Well, in our new GUI functions setup here, I'm gonna put the header file to the right, and I'm just gonna make functions here basically, and each function is gonna return a const std string. Okay, also gonna include what's it called, stl include, right? And I think stl include had a bunch of these nice functionalities and stuff, but no, actually not. It's too much stuff to include, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say include or string like that, using namespace std. Okay, just because we're using that, so I'm going to remove std. I'm also going to include string stream. No, I think it's called stream. All right. And this is supposed to be like that. Okay, so we got a few things going in here, and that's fine. So what I want to do is I just want a function that is basically gonna return a title. Okay, so it's gonna be a title. And actually, you know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make our own namespace. That's kind of cool. Namespace GUI. We'll just call it GUI, and then we'll do this. And basically, a namespace is just anything within this space is like that. Std string. It's like std. So if I have a namespace GUI, I'll have to say GUI : and that function's name basically. So this is going to be. I don't have to write that there though. This will be menu get menu title. Or menu title. I'll just call it menu title. Menu title, like that. and I'll say, well, what should the title be? std string title, const std string title. Okay, so that's going to be one function right there. And then I'm just going to define that in here in the CPP file. I don't know why that happened. Okay, yeah, there it is. There we go. And I'm just going to also include the GUI functions right there. Okay, cool. So there we go. So that is menu title, like that. So I'm just going to define that. Return string. So I think we're going to use a string stream here. std string stream ss. Now don't using namespace here because it's going to collide with all of this, our own namespace. So don't do that. And just keep using namespace std everywhere, and we'll have this as our own, and we'll use GUI in front of everything we want to kind of when we want to call the function. So there we go. SS title. Simple as that. Okay. Now we can format this if we want. We can say title, maybe a new line here. So I just keep it like that. Maybe 2 new lines after a title, right? Like that. Okay. Maybe we want some flair, right? Some flair, just like that. Something like this, maybe. Why not? Why not? So that's kind of a menu title for us with 2 new lines, all good. Now I might want to define something else, and we'll get to that in a minute here, but let's just go ahead and try this out. So if we go into game.cpp, for example, and we have character menu here, so I'm going to go into game.h first, or stl include actually. I'll go in here and I'm going to include GUI functions.h right in here. And that means wherever I included GUI functions, I'll be able to call this function, and I'll get a nice format on my things. So here I have 2 new lines, for example. All I have to do here is cout GUI menu title. Now what was the title? Character menu. Okay, like that. Character menu. Was it in capital? That's a good question, but whatever. Character menu. So that's cool. There you go. Now that was a simple way, and every time you call this function, you can kind of fix it or make it as you want, as personal as you want to make it. And we'll make a few more functions here and just get started. So these videos are going to focus a little bit on, let's go to character sheet here. Character menu, see? So that worked. Now if I go back here, I just want to see how it looked. Okay, so character menu, let's just main menu. Okay, I had a little space there. So say that I want to change that for all titles. I just go back in my GUI function CPP and I change that. I just do that instead, like that. And there you go. So you can kind of make your titles as you want. And then we're going to go ahead and make a few more things. Menu title. Maybe we want a menu divider, usually divider, which is pretty good. And for that, we're going to need const unsigned amount and const char symbol. Okay, so basically like that. Basically like that. I'm just gonna copy that, paste it in here. Here, there we go. So GUI, just to make it clear. So menu divider. Okay, cool. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means string std string stream ss return ss.string. String streams are great. We have been using them in the previous tutorials, I'm pretty sure. But if you still don't know what that is, you should check out the tutorials for that on my channel, on my tutorial playlist. Otherwise, basically, they're just a little stream. Instead of cout, you can kind of put anything you want into a string like this, and then just it will be a long string with all that stuff. It can be integers, it can be anything. That's why it's so useful. So it's a good thing to have. Now, for a menu divider, basically string stream will be a std string. Like you create a string with a certain amount of symbols. So say I want like 40 symbols of a character symbol. Okay, but just to kind of let's see, I want another new line after my symbols. So the divider is going to give me 2 new lines after one another. This is just to make it clear. Okay, you can write these in one, you can write these directly after, you can do whatever you want. And this is just for me to make it more visible when I'm doing a new line and all that stuff. So it makes it a little easier. Anyway, what you can do is when you're creating a string, you can do this. You can say, I want like 40 lines or 40 spaces or 40 S's or whatever you want to do. You can create a string like that, and that helps us create a nice little divider which can divide all this stuff, like different parts of the menu, right? So just to show you how that will work in a second, actually I'll just create one more, a menu item function, and then we'll use all of those. Menu item, and then I'm just gonna say const unsigned index and const std string text. So that's going to be our other function. Just going to put that down there in the CPP file and do that. GUI. And this, again, this is to make stuff look better and a little easier to handle. So I'm going to use some functions. These videos are going to be about updating this old kind of game that we've been making into something nicer and newer, right? So we're going to use these functions. So I'm just going to copy paste this here, and then we're going to do std instead of this, and we're just going to have one new line there. I think it was the same thing. It was like that, and then it was a kind of a thing like that, index, kind of something like this, right? And then text, pretty sure, something like that. Not sure. Let's see, let's just run this. Let me just see how that looks, how a menu looks. We didn't have any of this flare, I think. Let's just see. Okay, so yeah, we didn't have any of this flare. It was just this 0 right there. So we could add flare if you wanted to. We could add the parentheses, for example, maybe a line, something to signify this is a menu item, and that's cool, right? And the index as well, and the text. So there you go. That's basically some stuff that you can use. Now, if we wanna use this, let's just go back into game. For example, we'll just work with the game menu here. So instead of this cout right here, let's see. Let's make a divider here. Cout GUI menu divider, and I'll make a default value for it. Let's just go back here. Let's make some defaults here. So in the H file, preferably H file right here. So amount is gonna be maybe 30. Symbol is gonna be something like that. So that's cool. Now we have some default values in there. That means I can call it like this. Yep, cool. So it's gonna make 30 lines here, and then we're gonna print the stats. Maybe I'm gonna make another menu divider here. You might like the old design. I'm just saying you don't have to do this, but if you want to, this is kind of a good way to do this. I'll just call this something as well. Make a function for this kind of submenu title, and then we'll just try it. This is just to try it. 0 and back. So GUI menu item 0 back. So that's kind of how that's gonna work. It's gonna be just printing out 0 and back, and we're gonna just replace these with stuff like that. Print inventory. This is the character menu though, so that's cool. And then we're gonna do equip item, and then an extra new line, and then the choice as well. We'll make a function for the choice, And there you go. There you have a little kind of way to design your own game, right? Your own GUI. You can play around with this. It's a nice way to do it. Makes it a little easier. So there you go. So go into the character sheet. You'll see that it looks a little different. We have character menu. We have our divider here. We have another divider menu and your menu items, and this is how they look. Okay. Now I did make a mistake here. It should be 2 right there. So now it should be fine. So this is kind of a cool way to design your GUI. We'll keep working with this in the coming videos. But yeah, for now I gotta end the video. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this was fun. I hope this is cool. A nice way to make it look a little better. If you think so, I'm not sure. But yeah, just have fun with this and keep working hard. Check out the description box, bunch of useful links. Drop a like, subscribe if you like all this stuff, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next one. All right, bye bye.